السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته تخطاتلتنا لما عدتي مدى بحيثنا لكم قريبنا دلنا إن شاء الله نجوي كتكبروا مسانا قاشا خبرت اللاتنا Olga تبهر How are you, Olga?
Very well. It's lovely to be here.
Yes. Thank you very much for coming, Olga. In our show, Closing the Gap. I would like to introduce you to our audience, and they are following us. We're just seeing people are coming in. We just want the people to get in and join us. نقدمكم تخطاتلتنا join كتكبروا share قبروا أخم share نبر إن شاء الله. So I hope you didn't get lost.
No, it's fine.
That's good.
I know my way around Melbourne.
That's good, Olga. Share نبر أحواتنا حاتن. Share. كمودما حونا سعود مسانا له قشانا كان أي قشة إن شاء الله سعود كم يتخون سعود سمعنا لها هلو سعود
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام أستاذ سعود قرب شيك قبلو حواتنا حاتن نصب إنا دلنا إن شاء الله إن شاء الله تصبوا تريونا لكم تخونوا تصبوا غير الله إن شاء الله
هو تبان
فإن شاء الله welcome Olga to our show. I would like to introduce you to our audience now إن شاء الله Olga bursian. She is born in Morocco.
Yep.
And came to Australia as a refugee.
Yes.
Background is a degree of social work.
Yeah.
And
social work.
yes, and then your PhD on social policy.
Yes, social policy and immigration.
Yes. Today our topic, just to give a brief about our talk, we will be talking in the role of community identity and belonging. How is it important to the community and to be getting together? But first, I would like you to give you a chance to introduce yourself into our follower.
Okay. Yes. So I was born in Morocco from a family of Russian refugees. So my grandparents were refugees from the revolution. My mother was brought up a refugee, and then my father's family came out of Russia during World War II, so we were refugees in Morocco. So I learned to speak French. My primary schooling was in French. I knew a little bit of Arabic, not much.
What's the word? Any words in Arabic?
Yes, alhamdulillah, bismillah,
That's
inshallah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But I will teach you to Greek today.
Okay, yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. And but I grew up hearing different languages. So for example, there was a lot of Spanish. You know, people lived close to each other, and I heard a lot of Spanish in the street next door. People was either talking in Spanish or Spanish music, and of course, you know, French language and Arabic language and Russian language. So, you know, these are all my, you know, my mother tongues in a way. These are all the tongues of my earliest memory, and these are the tongues that are familiar to me. So, so migrated to Australia with my mother and 3 children. We were children, of course. Then I studied social work, and have always been interested in making a difference to the conditions that people live in.
Great. For the last 10 years, as I've known, you have been in the field as a social work and academic as a lecturer in uni.
Yep.
Just to give our follower your background.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to sense a little bit of, you know, like kind of what is in the field of social work, how is it important? First of all, let's identify what's the difference between belonging and identity.
Belonging and identity.
Yes.
Well, I think your identity is tied up with the group and the place where you feel belonging. So that connection, your identity, how people are constituted as human beings, as personalities, that identity takes shape in childhood and young adulthood and adulthood.
Yeah.
In the context of people who you feel are your people, places where you feel it's home. So it's very subtle concepts, and there are many perspectives on the notion of belonging and identity. But I think the two are very intertwined.
They go along together.
Yes, very, very closely associated.
Yeah. So coming back into the belonging and identity, how important it is for the people to feel that way within their own group and their own background.
I know a very distinguished Indian linguist, Professor who was a trailblazer in modern linguistics, and he said he believed that, and he worked all his life advocating for the importance of people to not only speak their mother tongue, but to have their primary schooling in their mother tongue. And his theory is that if your mother tongue is the tongue spoken at home as a child, the language of your mother, and if you can then have the experience of having that language spoken in the community, outside, in the public sphere, outside the family, and especially if you can be educated, certainly in primary schooling, so then you have the formal institution of primary schooling education in your mother tongue, then this leads to the most resilient personalities. So this is the most the source of the greatest strength and health as a personality. So you can become really well developed as a human being, and you can then go overseas. You can go anywhere, and you will be secure about who you are. So you'll be able to meet circumstances that are difficult, challenging, different, and remain in a very peaceful way, true to yourself, to your values, because there's no insecurity there. You know who you are.
Yeah, it gives you empowerment. Yes. It gives you self-esteem.
That's right.
Can we say it in the other way?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you are more settled. You are more confident. You're looking for yourself, where you belong.
You don't need to look. You don't need to look
because it's inside you.
Because it's inside you. Because it's very clear where you belong and who you are, because you've learnt who you are by interacting with the people of your family, of your childhood, of your community, your neighbours, the kids, and then school. So then people are. This is what a human personality needs for full development. Full psychological, social development. You see.
تخطاتلتنا لما عتي كشجرنا أيوم وكنا قلنا تي قنقا خينو جين أدلاي خم دخوني تي مر أختي كنا بتصح أولغا فضلنا دلنا حجي أنت حتيتيا نايكلتي belonging and identity أنت أيو تدفل الليناتن كان أيضا ما أريا نجيراتنا أتفل الليناتن بحنسا بين دفدا كمي جرنا مننتنا خينو سني كفلاني مستي belonging خينو الصاحجي أبتي حفشاوي أتبلو دلا كنت ننتهي أدلاي نت مخانو سني نبتي مننتنا نحنا سني እንታይ ይግበና ሰልፍ ስቲም ይበካ empowerment ይበካ መን ከም ምዃንካ ስኒ ክትወፅእ ከለኻ ስኒ ብጣዕሚ ኢኻ ኮንፊደንስ ኮይንካ ስኒ እንታይ ከም ትደሊ ኣይትየካኒ ኣድላይነት ከም ምዃኑ ምስቲ ቋንቋ ኮይኑ ምስቲ ብዙሕ ነገራት ኣሎ እቲ መንነት ኣቢሉ ተተሓሒዙ ትኸይድ So coming back into Olga, where we're sitting down, there is a lot, you know, like your identity and belonging would help us, as you mentioned. Well, one of them, the language could be the culture, the itself, like a certain amount. It could be clothing, it could be a lot of stuff. Can you tell us more? Yeah. Can you tell us more about those symbols?
Yeah, so certainly I think language would be the first one. You know, there's language and then there's the place and the symbols of your culture that that are familiar. But if we start with, shall we start with language?
Oh, that would be great. Great.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah. So certainly language.
Yeah, go ahead.
Language helps you to make sense of the world. So it's within language that you understand, you constitute meaning. That meaning, you can interpret the world, that you can understand. So really meaning is constituted within yourself and with other people. So that's very important. But and that meaning, of course, to go back to my first point about mother tongue and self-esteem.
Yes.
When you are speaking your mother tongue, then you are quite certain about your capacity to make sense of the world. So if you become a refugee, as a lot of us have been, then because you have this secure emotional base, you can deal with very volatile situations, harsh situations, hostile situations, or just different situations with confidence and in a peaceful way. You're able to learn, you're able to creatively find responses to new situations, and it all comes back to your self-esteem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does it help in the way we think as well when we are speaking in the language itself?
Yes.
How do you elaborate on that?
Yeah. It's funny about that. We came out to Australia and we just became Australian, We didn't have any family in Australia, so we didn't belong to the Russian community. We just became Australian. We had Australian friends and we didn't think about these questions at all. And didn't speak Russian at home, we spoke French, but then one day as a young adult, I was already a social worker, I met someone from the Russian community and I started speaking to them in Russian, and I hadn't spoken Russian for a long time, and I just felt different. I felt I was a different person. Not really different, but I think the language taps into a deeper level of your emotions. So I think
it's settling you down.
It helps you to be, for me, if I'm feeling something or dealing with an emotional issue, my emotional reactions, I can express it often better in Russian.
We've been told sound is not clear. We're going to raise our volume.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
We've been told. Sorry about that. How about now? Give us an okay if it is a sound is better. Coming back into our question, really, Olga, that's really, really good. What I'm trying, sound please. We will try to raise our volume as Olga. I think we can try to do a little bit in here. If I could. The remote control,
Is
yeah?
behind you?
Yeah, I think so. I think, tell us more if it is a little bit better. Better, yeah. So people telling us better.
Is it perfect?
Inshallah, to be perfect. What I'm going to say, Olga, I mean, coming back into our, like the identity and belonging, how is it important for we have young generation right now, are growing up here, say to you, okay, but I'm an Australian, I'm an Aussie.
Yes.
I don't need to learn my own
Yes.
language. What would you say about that?
Okay. Well, the philosopher Wittgenstein said that language, when you speak in a different language, you're not just agreeing, you're not just communicating through words that are shared. Language is actually agreement about a different form of life. So language expresses forms of life. So therefore, the language that your parents, your grandparents, your family, your community speak, it's not just different words. They're actually talking about all of the rich tapestry of life and culture, spiritual meanings, all of the references to the land and history and all sorts of levels of meaning. That all lives in language. So and a young person's family in Eritrea is part of that young person, and you need to be able to understand, and you need to be able to
Connect.
That's
Is that the
right.
word?
Connect. Absolutely. You need to connect with this
rich and deeper.
Yes, and because that is the root of our very own selves, and then because that is who we are. That is who we are. But we are also in Australia.
Exactly.
And that's right. And we will be much more successful in life, more fulfilled, satisfied, and able to form satisfying relationships and find joy in life if we have that good and clear connection and respect for our roots, and our family history, our community's history.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to engage with the world around us, also respectfully and appropriately.
Yeah. And this is also makes you feel proud of yourself, who you are.
Of course.
And then that richness as well, when we are going and feeling about ourselves, how rich we are, that it can tell us that personality when you are hiring or when you're knowing how rich they are.
That's right.
So this is where I agree in a way that's sound from our guest, I think so. A sound from our guest, if you can put it mute, it will be really good. Mute. Our guest, I think Yasin. Yasin? 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 Are we having a little bit of... we're having some back, Yasin. If you can turn it off, please. It's coming back, Yasin. Sound. The sound. Mute, Yasin. Yasin, can you mute, please? The sound is coming. Yasin, are you with us? Yasin, can you mute your, okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Yasin. We're back.
So where is that coming from?
Because for our guests,
Which one? Where are they?
they are in, one in Europe, and we're hopefully getting another person as well. Coming back into how rich it is with our languages and all they inherit with our kids. This is Suniyat. I wanted to introduce you to Suniyat as a group and what they are trying to do with their group as a group background in this content. As yeah. Suniyat is trying to do the roots of the grouping to come into how they connect their, trying to help the people back home who are really in need. And this has been known as fact a long time ago in our generation back, my grandfather, the richness of how helping each other. And this will enable the other people to be helping even the refugees coming back here. And when you are in a better situation, this is where you need to help your own family, your own people. So this helping and connecting as well, this is the idea, the idea started from how they are trying to do and ideologically with their thinking, how can we connect our people here together to get the strengths together and bringing back home oriented helping each other. So what do you think about this in we know as back myself in the field of the social work, how the Australian help people to come together and then form groups and try to help each other in this kind of form. What do you think?
Could I just ask point of clarification?
That's good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you're saying that back home, the people back home, the people I didn't quite get what you were saying about the people back home. So I understand the purpose of connecting with people who are outside of home.
Yes.
The diaspora.
Yes.
And what about the people at home?
This is where they're in need. Could be in a lot of ways. And this is where the strengths can come from the people outside and people inside to be connecting together. So this is the idea. And helping the need people in refugee, especially women who are really young age, or also the children under age who skip their family and they're living in a refugee camp. So this is where the helping and getting together. So the purpose and the aim of this group coming together. So what do you, and as an idea, what do you support this kind of stuff?
I think it's essential. I think it's great, really, really important. Many years ago, in Western society, English-speaking society, European society, it's very, especially English-speaking society, is individualistic. It's the individual.
Okay.
And this is what I want and what I need is that's the language of what's normal, what I want and what I need. Okay, but in other cultures, so this was a book about African philosophy, and French philosopher René Descartes expressed the foundation of the English-speaking world. I don't know it's French, but by saying, how do I know whether that I'm alive? How do I know anything is real? And he said, well, I think, therefore I am. So I can be sure I am real because I am thinking. But I'm not sure about you being real, but at least I know that I am thinking. So this is often given as an example of individualism. This is the Western individualism. Now, this book about African philosophy that I read was titled We Are because we are. So I am because we are.
Okay.
I am because we are. So in African culture and certainly in Russian culture as well, and many cultures around the world, it is the connection, the values, the connection with other people is
It is too low. What are we doing? The law of the volume. And we have to shout.
Too soft.
Too soft, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So a lot of cultures, including many African cultures, are based on begin with the group, begin with other people. It's not an individualistic culture. So the value of Eritrean people, the fundamental value is connection and caring for each other.
Okay.
It's not individual satisfaction.
Okay.
So this connecting is part of helping people back home, helping each other, is a fundamental value, and that is a core element of people's identity,
Okay.
I would imagine.
So you're telling me, Olga, is when I'm kind of getting together and doing as a community
Yes.
work together.
Yes.
That's where it is. I'm valued.
Yes.
I'm more connected together.
Yes.
And
you're
this is
and you're expressing what is fundamentally important to your culture, to you as a person, to your family, and of course this is such an important, the most important human value, to care for each other and to bring the community together and to care for the health of everybody in the community. The world needs.
yeah.
this.
So within the group itself, what I'm trying to say, it gives me the sense of belonging, the sense of sharing, the
Yes.
sense of all this is it's being encouraged by the Australian government.
Yes.
But why do we think it is encouraged? Well, we know this is the individuality, like you said, which it is not being encouraged. But why they think it is good? Yes.
What does the Australian government fund?
Yes, funds.
Is that you're
yes,
asking?
yes.
Okay. Look, people have the same needs all over the world and have always had the same needs throughout history. You know, people are people. People need each other. People need support. Life is, it's the most. So in Australia, although it is more of an individualistic culture, people value family and value connection and relationships more than everything else. So that's. Look, in a modern, wealthy capitalist democracy like Australia, the government has adopted. It's part of the democratic contract. So it's part of being in a democracy and a wealthy democracy. I think the Great Depression, and World War II, World War I showed the absolute calamity of unemployment, poverty, war, and so the European nations, the wealthy democracies after World War II and last century put in place regulations about working conditions, employment, taxation in order to fund public services. Public services are really essential for a civilized society. Public services are critical. Otherwise, we just have
isolated.
Well, we have people being homeless, people being angry. We have crime. We have revolution. We have,
That's why they encourage the community work. This is very fantastic job, Olga. At the end of our, I know your time is valuable. We have only have an hour you give us. I really thank you very much. So to give you a conclusion, what's the message you wanted to send to our audience here? We will talk about some other time about your policy and the immigration. You wrote about the women's and their, and the women's from a different background, how they contributed to Australia. So we will talk some other time, invite you about regarding women. but I would like to give you a last final chance to say something to our audience.
Okay, well, I think it's very exciting that you're able to, connect and talk together, and how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions, there are around the world. I think it's so exciting. It's just a wonderful, wonderful venture. And well, look, I would really encourage you to keep on going and be united and really enjoy connecting with each other and with your families, and in order to be proud of your culture, because everybody else, wherever you might be, whether you're in Sweden or America or in France or Canada, people who are the native born, they're proud of who they are.
Exactly.
And so you need to be proud of who you are too. And then you can be proud also of being in a cosmopolitan person, able to move around the world and form great relationships and
have a healthy community.
Yes.
To have a healthy people around the world, and this is where we are, in a small village. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your coming here.
And I look forward to hearing about how you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will continue with our brother Yasin. If you can be with us, Yasin. You heard Olga. سمعتنا خبرات سمعتنا. Thank you very much, Olga. حجي مس حونا ياسين مسانا لها. يلا ياسين حجي سمعك أتخون أولغا قرب هباتنا نيرا انتي كندم انتي إمبورن كم مخانو كابتي تبقيسكا دنبركا مالتي من أختها يا ريت أبقى تذكرنا إن شاء الله. Saud, sorry, I'm getting mixed up from my last audience. سعودي ناخذ sorry سعود حوي keep going.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كلكم زاركم سمعتي وعدالوت زمدك مجمريا خمس منكم يلي زي أدلزي معكم هذا عن عويا كاتامي أبزي عدينكم كذا زرارونا حسبنا قصوي بمحسابكم كما سنكم يلي كاتينا أتي كبعض سنة تبقى قبل سنة تبقى عيناتهم وصارت منነት ቋንቋን ወይ መንነት አፍሪቱ ብሎ ወገንነትን አው ዘሎ ፍልሊ ረዊሕ አይኮነን ቅርበት አለው አፍቲ ናይ ቋንቋን ናይ መንነትን አተኪርና ንዛረብ ሓደ ሰብ ወይ ሓደ እኩል ሕብረተሰብ መንነት ተደይብሉ ቋንቋ ተደይብሉ መለለይ ዘይብሉ ካ ወላ ሓንቲ ነገር አይኮነን بزغر يزتف بزغر خنبر ولا يكلم عدل يقول ما ينبع عدل يقول هجي معناه نتقول له لا يتقون قال أتقون قال زبال نجا كمزي قام قاد كبال كله جلست نتاي يرد قام قاد نادي خاص له زبون تراي كلهم دل يجدد تجدد يخا ويكلهم دل لك زبال زرار بال جنكو يكون قام قاد مالك كم تديها طوب أتبيع نبتسأل هيوتك تسرح سرح قومي قام قاد خبها الكل قام قاد مالك كم سد كذب بخاطوسك قام قاد رايد يكون تترفاسا النبابرة محبرة وسنا أمرها كوما بعلا كبرتاتا محبرة ومثال مستي تنورلو أكبابي زل حبرتسب زل ود كرن تزكى تصب صدقه معنا مالك ويش بقي مش معنا نعيم جي تقام قاد خبها الكل بتراسن تراي يعني حاس لزغون توصف زلنا هذه كونس تزلوا خبرتها وشتو كل تناي النبابرة تنفاسا سنامرا وكاوما بعلا كبرتها تنورو الخبال مستنورو زلوا خبال حدا تسوا بخمي عز تنبر ويزلوا واود يخجل زجلز سلازي نحن كم حبرتسب في قام قاد قدامنا تنورو زلنا قداي كل جيزي تسنامرا وكاوما لا حدا حبرتسب التي زاروا قام قاي زعكا ويسمع يزلوا هذا ንኣብነት ሓደ ኤርትራዊ ኣብ ካልእ ዓዲ ይዓቢ እሞ ናይቲ ዓዲ ቋንቋ ይለምድ ወናቲ ቋንቋ ይፈልጥን ግን መን ኢኻ ኢሎሞ ክሓትዎ ከለዉ ኤርትራዊ እየ ክብል ነቲ ስምዒት ኤርትራውነት ግን ከንፀባርቕ ኣይክእል ስለምንታይ ስምዒት ኤርትራውነት ዘየንፀባርቕ እቲ ቋንቋ እቲ ባህልን ኣይወሰዱን ወይ ኣይፈልጦኒ ኣይወረሶን ወይ ኣይተረድኦን ልክዕ ማለት ግንዛቤ ይብሉ ግንዛቤ ስለዘይብሉ ብዛዕባ ኤርትራውነት እንታይ ማለት ምዃኑ ብርግፅ ክፈልጦ ኣይክእል ስለዚ ኣብ ሕብረተሰብ ናትና እውን እዚ እቲ ቀንዲ ፀገም ኮይኑ ዘሎ እዚ ናይ ኣብ ደገ ዘሎ ሕብረተሰብ ናትና ማለት ነቲ ህልው ኩነታት ነቲ ኣብ ዓዲ ዘሎ ሕብረተሰቡ ልክዕ ክትርጉሞን ክርድኦን ከንብቦም ንዕኡ መሲሉ ክኸይድን ዘይምኽኣል ይፍፀም ኣብዚ እንታይ ይፍጠር እቲ ማሕበራዊ ምትእኽኻባት ክፍጠር ከሎ ኣብ ክንዲ ናብዚ ዓዲ ምምፃእና ህዝቢ ማለት ወይ እኩብ ህዝቢ ማለት ሓይሊ ማለት ስለዚ ኮሚኒቲ ማለት ከዓ እኩብ ህዝቢ ስለ ዝኾነ ሓይሊ ማለት እዩ ነዚ ክፈጠር ዝፅገም ዝበዝሕ ግዜ ካብዚ መንነት ወይ ካብዚ ቋንቋ ብዝረሓቐ ግዜ ናብዚ ዝቐርብ ከዓ ብኡ መጠን ይፅገም ማለት ወይ ግዜ ይወስድ እቲ ናይ ሓባር ስራሕ ወይ ብሓባር ኮንካ ክትዓመት ዘለካ ነገር ክትዓመት ኮንካ መጀመርያ ስነ ኣእምሮዊ ኣቃውሞኻ ብሓደ ምምፃእ ኩሉ ግዜ ስነ ኣእምሮዊ ኣቃውሞ ናይ ሓደ ሕብረተሰብ ኣብ ሓደ ምስ መፀ እዩ ሞራሉ ኩሉ ግዜ ህዝቢ ክዕቀብ ከሎ ብብዝሕ ህዝቢ ይኮኑ ብዙሕ ህዝቢ ፍቕዲ ወይ ቁፅሪ ብዙሕ ህዝቢ ሓይሊ ህዝቢ ዝዕቀብ ግን ብናቱ ኣቃውማ ስነ ኣእምሮዊ ኣቃውሞ ብተወፋይነቱ ብጥምረቱ ብዘለዎ ናይ ምትሕብባር ሓይሊ ብዘለዎ ናይ ምፅማቕ ውህደት ክሰርሑ ዝደሊ ናይ ሓባር ውጥን ስራሕ ብዝህልዎ እዩ ዝዕቀብ ሕብረተሰብ ሓያል ሕብረተሰብ ዝበሃል ወይ ብዘለዎ ውህድ ቆጠባ እዩ ዝዕቀብ ሓደ ሕብረተሰብ ሓያል ሕብረተሰብ ኮሚኒቲ ከም ህዝቢ ኣብ ኮሚኒቲ ክምፃእ ከሎ ኮሚኒቲ እንድሕር ተፈጢሩ ኮሚኒቲ ሓይሊ ኮሚኒቲ እንድሕር ተፈጢሩ ሓድነት ኮሚኒቲ እንድሕር ተፈጢሩ ድሕነት ኮሚኒቲ እንድሕር ተፈጢሩ ምትሕልላይ ወይ ምትሕግጋዝ ዕቤት ሕጂ ኣባላ ዝጎድል ኣብ ሕብረተሰብ ናትና ቀንዲ ነገር ዝጎድል ዘሎ እቲ መንነት ዘይምሳዕነት መንነትካ ክትመስሎ ዘይምኽኣል ቋንቋኻ ተጥፊኻ ትባህልኻ ተጥፊኻ የለኻ ንስ ኣብቲ ከባቢ የለኻ ሕጂ ናተይ ትብሎ ነገር የብልካ ማለት ናተይ ትብሎ ነገር እንተዘይብልካ ድማ ኩሉ ግዜ ኣብ ኮንፊደንስ የብልካ ማለት ኣብ ዝኸተ ዓዲ ንበር ዝኾነ ዓይነት ቋንቋ ንመት ኮንፊደንስ የብልካን ናይ ቀባዕባዕ መንፈስ ተማዕብል ኣእምሮኻ ራዕድ ኣለዎ ማለት እዩ እስኻ ይትፈልጦን ኢኻ ገለ ነገር ስራዕድ ኣለዎ ዝርግራግ ምስልታት ዝርራዕድ ኣለዎ እዚ ካበይ ዝልገስ ካብቲ መወቆራ ወይ ደልሃፅ ከለኻ ዝጅምር ወይ ዝብገስ ማለት ስለዚ ንሕና ቀንዲ ክነተኩረሉ ዘለና መጀመርያ ክስራሕ ዘለዎ ኣብ ባህልናን ኣብ ቋንቋናን ኣተኪርና ከም ሕብረተሰብ ደረጃ እቲ ቫልዩ ናትና እቲ ክብርታት ናትና እቲ ናትና ቫልዩ እቲ ክብርታት ናትና ኣብ ዝኾነ ዓዲ ንሃሉ እንዕቀለሉ ቫልዩ እቲ ናትና ቫልዩ እቲ ክብርታት ናትና እቲ ቫልዩ ናትና ነዚ ክንሓስብ ኣለና ነዚ ክንከውን أريد أن يسمعني كلها أتذكر كلها ملمس.
Thank you very much. حجي كاب يعني تخطاتلتنا نتبعنا دلنا خطوات اللوم. جيم تاخذ لك حوي سعود لما عتي سمعنا أنا أولغا دكتور أولغا كمي أتوكيرات اللونتي حاري ممتعنا أب حاري توكير ناسني بحنسب نسرح بحنسب كم community خوين ناسني أب حنتي نزيد ما يبرات عنا أي الصراحة حجي تتولز حنتي تقون قاصدنا هذا لنا كمين كم سدرانا خم نحجز مالتي سبنا نحجز لنفسنا بنا مسبرتعنا إنا كن حجزهم نخل نزسني الصراحة حجي بحنسب نمسح نبلد لنا كم أكان نمسح بحنتي بقون قاب كان بمنتهي تري الصراحة إن شاء الله بركات الكات خوين تحطه.
هو أنا راح أدخل سألنا زوجة نتي ناتنا حبرتسب نلسينا مرأي فينا. حبرتسب ناتنا انتهي. قال قطرة يدي كنا انتهي حبرتسب نابي حاجة. انتهي كمي تي النبابور خلي تتحولت تتحول مقام تياب أمة تصنع مقام وتتعرف مقام وتموزز مقام وترهرب حجاجاز مقام نحر نحر السنة تمليسنا أمبينا أزيد صحنا نزل بحر تربينا ونزل بحر وسيبنا لما نفس كوميونيتي نتينا مثلا حجاز ما تستمع بس مسألة نحن أقول بناء كانوا عينة ميراث النبابرة وكبرتات البحر بتاعتنا كيدنا نزي إنه نزلنا حسب كلام السعي نحن نتناتنا حبرتسب كنحجز نتسقون كنعلي نتتشجير زلو نتتسقم زلو ختصقم كنا نتسقينا نجي ما راح نقبر زلنا ناخذ حبرتسبنا خبرتاتنا حبرتسبنا في من نسي زلنا كبرتاتنا حبرتسبنا ما زين فتحاول مقام حقينا أمة تشمل تحوتون مؤزوزون رهرون بجار خالق زحلف زي ما يمكن كبرتاتنا حبرتسبنا سلازي نابز تكمليسنا إلى أتي كوجو من حسب لنا نقطع بزعاجة حتى استدفاع الله خير الله طبعا يقول له خلوا عبيد نابز نستمع لسنا أنا الرغم نزل السماء بريهات الكفر إن شاء الله.
جزاك الله خير زيا أكيد داسي كان يرانا عي من الإسكايا فما شاء الله عليك. حجي ني كازيا أولغا دبلتان إلى سني كم يجرنا ني young people ني نتي من النتوم سني ني بقنقاجي خوينو بدخون خوينو أبزيد الجدلو من أختي كم يجر كاتري أزيا دبلتا أولغا. بالذات نتي أنا أتذكر كل سعود حوي young people كم نجوى مالت يعني أبدقي عبينا سني نزيئة مسقوق أخادي خوينو مسبهل أخادي خوينو كم يتري أسخا زيئة من أختي سددت أولغا نفسها.
هو سعدي سمعت تزاري واقع توكل يا بلا أنا من حساب زلنا أو زلنا يكون زرعة يكون نحن نقول زلنا قبل سياتنا في كم يجرنا نبعنا من نتوم نقربهم نزل حتى بقندو نحن نقول زلنا نتخابات نقول نتخابات لكن من تبعلنا زجلس نتخابات كله لكم أبجزا سرور زغنا مكتاب نقول لهم علنا أنت تخايلون بيت مرتاح تخفيتو ويكوفت نطلع أفليت مرتاح مهارو صول لهم نحن أبجزا ترايون مهيرنا يا كمزي حبرتسب كستو كمزي حبرتسب كلا كمزي زجبر كمزي خورتات يلاو خلود لهم سلازي مجمع نتقانقا نحر توريسو نتقانقا نحر يومو تتمسحات أتقانقا وشتي يرد زقالنا نحر نتقانقا نريهم تقانقا نحر نريهم نايت حبرتسب زنزانين رديتن كعبي أفتى أمر من السياق معناتي بو مثلا كأن نتسرح بعلم كنفقوا يكون نحن هنقول زلنا أبجزا بيت مرتات نتلو كل أسبوع معنا زين لتفيل خاف فترة لنا معنا بزي كازي نقطة ما يلت خلاص في أداء أتكاف فترة معنا صومناوي ورحاوي شيش ورحاوي ويعملاوي نت خلاص كنفترة عنا نتي منነት نتي بحري نتي خبرتها كانوا حلفوا تقينا بخمس دقائق أنا كاتو زيادة خلوا حلفوا تقينا بخمس دقائق ونتهم من سياقنا كانوا حلفوا لهم متخيلين لازم نقول زلنا يكون يسمعني.
جزاك الله خير مسلني كل تخطاتنا بالطعم يوم تردي يوم مدى لو تحسب كان تحسبنا أولغا لهم عندي question دلهم أي مسلنن حتى تقرب دلهم أي مسلنن جين أنا بزي نجوى بهالجوالن ستيتي مالت قريب عبي أتتصاوب جوالن ستيتي أبتي ناي family خوينو ناي مالت أبتي مالت كوميونيتي ناتنا سني بالطعمي عبي قريئة تتصاوب هجي إسلخاسني بزي أتحاحيس كان يزي إنكلتي نزيم من إسايات كوينو نتي علانقوش كوينو كمي تري أسخا بعربنا ينتايد البحر الأم مدرسة إذا أعددتها أعددت شعب طيب الأعراقي فبقى تحاحيس كاسينيسكي انتاي قدرت تتصاوب هلا قوال نستيتي وانتاي ما الأختي بلغنا تسدلنا بزيان
هو كل جزء بزح سب تزاري وي بزح مرام من يوم عبد عند ما أكلت ناي حاجة جزاء كاي يكون ناي حاجة
مثلا لقى سعود we lost سعود مثلا لما أيوة سمعك لقى go ahead now قرب في كلامك أوكي
سمعنا لهم ده
نجي سمعك لنا
نهاية ነገር ብዙሕ ተዛሪቦ እዮም ብዙሕ ፍላሳታት ንፅሕቶም ዓዲ እንተዘየላ ኩሉ ነገር የለን ማለት እዩ ቀዳምነት ኣብ ሕብረተሰብ ኣገዳሲ ባእታ እንተላ ልዕሊ ዝኾነ ነገር ኣደያ ስለዚ ኣደ ወሳንታት ኣለዋ ንኩሉ ንመንነት ንባህሊ ንኩሉ ነገር ናይ ኣደ ተራ ገሊፅካ ዝውዳእ ኣይኮነ ስለዚ ኣብዞም መንእሰያትና ዝያዳ ሓላፍነት ዘለዋ ዝያዳ ከተብፅሑ ትኽእለት ዝያዳ ከተረድኦም ዝያዳ ንሶም ናበይ ኣንፈቶም መፃኢኦም ከመይ ክኸውን ጥሙሖም ከተስምሮ ትኽእል ነገር እንተላ ሓንቲ ባእታ ኣደያ ስለዚ ናይ ኣደ ዝውዳእ ኣይኮነን ናይ ኣደ ገሊፅካ ኣደ ዓብዪ ተራ ኣለዋ እንሻ ላ ኩሎም ኣዴታት ዝሕብረተሰብ ከዓኒ ነዚ ተረዲአን ብዕምቀት ክሰርሓሉ ተስፋ ኣለና بزي بين زكبر نجار يلي بقى السنة ما يتحمل تسمع عن ما خلص السنة زي الله تودي نجار كل يلا
جزاك الله خير أنا أبدي أكمل بزيادة تذكر دي كونكوسني أبو كمان قدكم دلوا وفلتي جين كم فاميلي كوين ناسني نتي حزب ناسني نقد حجز بحنسب كوين ناتسينا أبحار إن شاء الله نسافر حوي سعود مال اختي ان شاء الله انت لا تك قربنا عها عدلك بك حجي فوتوات مالتي
انا فوز دل مشرش نحن كمحبرتسب كنحسب كلنا مزغول شعب زولي بتناتنا حبرتسب كنحسب على بتنسو زحسوا عينات حسسوا حسبنا بتنسو عينتنا عمر زونين وزلوا بهم واحد درجه كيدنا خريق لنا نعود نحرق الرئة خينا كل أوينا عمرنا كاوت المدينة ما إلى نتاي جديو كنفلت نخل سلازي كل جزء زعرع حبرتسب نحن حسب كلنا نزق قدامنا كنهد يلامو ويغني اللي كبرت عفنا نجوع
ما الاختلاف حجي حتولاتنا إن شاء الله من لسنا كمي غير كأخا strong community كن فتر مالتي build نقدر هو سعود سمعك question
هو
اوكي
حيا الكوميونتي اللي قلنا نشوف يا زلمه حيا الكوميونتي كفتر مجمريا زدليو في مقلت صنعنا مسرتاو ነገር እሺ تزعل ነገር ረቂቕ ነገር ናይ ኣእምሮ ጉዳይ ናይ ኣእምሮ ጉዳይ እንዳሕር ህንፀት ገይሩ ተወዲኡ ህንፀት ጌርካሉ ተወዲኡ እቲ ካልእ ነገር ኩሉ ቀሊል እዩ እቲ ኢኮኖሚ ኩሉ ነገር ኣቀረባይ መጀመርያ ክህነ ዘለዎ ስርዓት ኣእምሮ ናይቲ ሕብረተሰብ መጀመርያ ክህነ ዘለዎ መጀመርያ ናብ ሓደ ክህንተት ዘለዎ ስነ ኣእምሮ ቃውማ ናይቲ ሕብረተሰብ ነዚ እንዳሕር ሰሪሕካዮ እቲ ኩሉ ነገር ቀሊል ነዚ እንዳሕር ሰሪሕካዮ እቲ ውደባ ነቲ ስርዕ ነቲ መምርሒታት ከተብፅሖን እቲ ነቲ ኣእምሮ ተቃኒዩ ዘሎ ድማ ምኡዙዝ ኮይኑ ክቕበሎን ክርዕሞን ክሰርሓሉን ቀሊል ይኸውን ማለት እዩ መጀመርያ ክንሰርሖ ዘለና እቲ ስነ ኣእምራዊ ርድኢት ናይቲ ሕብረተሰብና ኣብ ሓደ ምምፃእ ክንሰርሕ ኣለና
جزاك الله خير ني حاتتنا دلنا حتى لكم مسانا حونا سعود له كمل لكم ان شاء الله كمتديكوني ان شاء الله بمسائد له ان شاء الله تصبوا يرخبنا سعود حوي كل جزء يعني بطعمي خبخه انا مهارينا ف كنت منتاي نزي حزبي مغلقال له ان شاء الله بمسائد ما بحنسب كوين ناسني أكال توبيك نراقب دخوني question يبلني دمدي معنا بزيا إن شاء الله نمتعي بحنسب كنا تخطاتنا إن شاء الله بحنسب كن أكل topic نراقب نزي قاب تفتير دلو أمونغونا سني إن شاء الله نخنعتو إنا نفتن دلنا فبارك الله فيك انت لك توسخ الله حنت نجار لاتك أنا بتعمل عجيبة لما اعتقد تي ناي أورغانا كان strong community مالتي
إن شاء الله زولوك عيوني قلنا حنت خلاص زلني نحن كنداوى مسألة كنساوى معنا زبان كله بعين زقنا يكون كيرا أنا بعين بوزيتيف بوزيتيف سايد لنا نقوله كنداوى مسألة عند حتى سمعني علينا كنرانا رانا عند حتى سمعني علينا زلعنا نقولكم بس إحنا الذي كله زدنا سدنسته كنردو لنا ونسمع لنا بعمقنا كنسمع معنا حياتنا زبر حساب الله كل مشارشة ويغني لنا حكنا
يغني لنا حوي سعود good job إن شاء الله تمهيرنا هنا كباخان كأورغان إن شاء الله نمتع إن شاء الله good job قبلكم تقطعتنا وإن شاء الله أبتبوا الرقبنا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you حوي.
شكرا.